Hey guys, welcome back to Kristen Johnson Ministries. I needed to jump on here really quickly because God wanted me to release a word to you. And actually, it's a word that He showed me earlier on this week. And it was a dream. He gave me a dream about different types of quote unquote Christian relationships. And He wanted me to highlight this to you. He wanted me to highlight that if you continue, or if you're one of these sort of examples of relationships, that unless you do it God's way, it's never going to work. And He gave me an example. I was having this dream, and there was three different types of couples, and it was like almost like I don't know, like one of those Channel 4 series, I don't know, those sort of programs. And each couple was in a different pod. There were three different couples. And the first couple was coming out, and the first couple was fornicating. They were having sex or attempting to have it, and they were arguing about something, saying he was saying something to her, and she was like running off, and he was running away. Not running away, but running towards her. And then there was another couple in the pod next door, and they were being honorable to the precepts of God. What does that mean? They weren't having sex before marriage. They weren't compromising themselves to please one another. So what happens is you might find a Christian man or a woman who loves God, but then all of a sudden they start to love someone else, and they start to break all their promises to God because they love this person so much. And guess what? That becomes an idol in your life. But this couple, they both loved God and they were honoring God. And in the pod, as I went in my dream, they were laying on the floor. The guy was laying on the floor and she was on the bed. And he was just asking her questions about like who she is, trying to understand and get to know her and building a friendship. And they were both honoring and respecting God's precepts and themselves, right? This isn't about I respect myself, or what the world says. This isn't the world standards. This is God's standards. And God was saying, I'm pleased with this couple. I'm pleased with them because they are doing it the way that I want to. And they will have a fruitful marriage. They will have a successful marriage. And then the last couple in the pod, they were in between the first couple that God showed me and the second couple, i.e. they were trying to be strong and not fornicate, but they kept on slipping up and they kept on making mistakes. And God was like, lest they submit themselves to me and do it my way, it will never work. It will never work. And you might have some stories about how you know someone who did something and this worked out. Great, but God is saying specifically that that is not my best for you. That's not my best for you. And when we start to walk in fruits of the Spirit, then we will administer self-control. Is it going to be difficult? Yes. But God tells us, or the Bible shows us, actually, there wasn't a lot of dating going on. There was marriage, right? And you're dating with purpose and not just to fornicate. But He was highlighting three different relationships. Those who were blatantly just fornicating and not really caring too much. Those that were respecting and honoring God's precepts and laws around that. And the third one where they were trying, but they kept on slipping up and it was causing many issues. And God was highlighting, I just feel that so strongly about the last one, where you're trying, you love God, but you keep on slipping up. And yes, God is a graceful God and He's a merciful God, but He's a God of high standards. He wants things to be done in the right way. He doesn't want you just to compromise your relationship or compromise a man or a woman over Him, because as I said, that's idolatry. I don't care how you shape it, form it, it's idolatry. Anything you put above doing what God has told you to do or what His laws say, that becomes an idol in your life. And many of us have idols in our life, right? It's not a statue that we're worshiping, but it's something that is more important than God, the God in our life. And anyway, I really hope this encourages you, because God is speaking to, whether you're young, old, or whatever else, God is saying, honor my laws, honor my statutes, honor my precepts. And guess what? I will bless that relationship more than you can ever dream of. Oof. I will bless that relationship more than you could ever dream of. I'm not just trying to give you physical satisfaction. I'm trying to bring two restored people into a relationship that is godly, divinely ordered and structured by God, and bring them together so that I can have two whole people, and restored, and be able to fit into their rightful positions. What does that mean? That you have the man of God, the man of the house, the spiritual head leading, and he's healed, whole, and restored. He's gone through a process to heal from things in his life, gone through deliverance, gone through, several testing from the Lord, and he's ready to step in his position. And then you also have a righteous Proverbs 31 woman who knows how to allow her husband's heart to be trusted in her hands. But a Proverbs 31 woman is not only someone who cooks and cleans, she's also an entrepreneur. She's one who wakes up early in the morning and gets the household ready and takes care of her house even before she starts to do anything else. She's one who prays. She's a godly woman, right? And that might not be the standard of the world today, but I don't care what the world says. I care what God says. And God is saying, if you want to have a successful relationship, if you want the relationship that you've been praying for, you need to start to do it my way. It's either my way or you end up paying prices. Do you know how many soul ties people are just caught up with? It's unreal. It's unreal, and that's not condemnation. I'm telling you the truth, because God doesn't want to stop you from having fun. He wants you to be able to enjoy it, but in the correct setting, right? In the correct setting where not so many people get hurt, and where you're not just living life without purpose and delaying the best that God has for you, right? So I pray that that speaks to your soul. Pray that encourages you, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.